For Joint Chiefs of Staff Chair General Mark Milley, concerns of a coup felt so real he warned aides they may try, but they're not going to bleeping succeed. You can't do this without the military, adding, "We're the guys with the guns." Milley, so worried about Donald Trump's behavior before the election, he compared it to Nazi-era Germany. Quote, "This is a Reichstag moment, the gospel of the Fuhrer."
The general saw other ways in which Trump was trying to create fear and chaos to capitalize on it. They were afraid of what he might do.
That explosive reporting from Philip Rucker and Carol Leonnig, their new book based on more than 140 sources.
Carol and I were both surprised overall in this reporting by how much worse things were behind the scenes than we knew in real time.
New details now about the president erupting at top military brass and Vice President Mike Pence after they resisted his suggestion to deploy troops to go after Black Lives Matter protesters. "You are all bleeped up," Trump thundered. "Every one of you is bleeped up." Later telling the authors one of the only regrets of his presidency was not overruling those advisors to put troops on the streets. Also revealed the origin of Mr. Trump's big lie, sparked apparently by Rudy Giuliani on election night, demanding they declare victory even with ballots still being counted.
The big theme in this book is how unnerved and unsettled even the most ardent supporters of President Trump were, privately, secretly, behind the scenes.
People will want to know, then why didn't you say something at the time to these officials that were so close to the president? It's not a profile in courage to come out after he lost an election and now talk about it.
They were afraid of this president, and they wanted to cling to their own power.
Milley, through a spokesperson, declining to comment. Mr. Trump has since denied any talk of a coup.
He has a big constituency out there, and it's worthwhile for all Americans, whether you support Trump or not, to look back and study what he did to really understand the consequences of his decision-making and of his actions in office.
Despite leaving office with an approval rating in the low 40s, the former president is also apparently feeling confident in his presidency and his own popularity. At one point in the 2.5-hour sit-down with the book's authors at Mar-a-Lago, Mr. Trump suggested that if George Washington came back from the dead and chose Abraham Lincoln as his vice president, it would have been very hard, he says, for them to beat him.